Okay, GM based heads, or as we say in the Discord, BM. My name is Gerry, and welcome to a based AF space slash flash update. So not following the normal format that we do each week. And there's a few reasons for that, but I'll get into those in a moment. But if you're new here and you're wondering what based AF is, here's my elevator pitch. Based AF is a content creation monster, producing viral, entertaining, and thought-producing content, pushing the limits of human experience and expression by exploring emerging technologies such as augmented reality, artificial intelligence, Web3 technology, and of course, virtual reality. Think of Based AF as MTV, but for the metaverse. And it's powered by the Based Heads, a set of digital collectibles with untold powers, your virtual backstage pass, where you can star in the action, help drive the narrative, and even share in the spoils. So today's show is a bit different due to changes to daylight savings and the Easter break, and of course the distraction of NFT NYC. So I'm just going to have a quick rundown, a bit of an update of everything that's happened in the last 2 weeks. Unfortunately, the space didn't happen last week because I was unwell. So let's just get into it because there's plenty to cover. The first thing I wanted to mention was that Robin spoke to Jonah Blake from Real Third Web, and they did an amazing Twitter space together. So I uploaded a copy of that to my YouTube channel with some added visuals, and it was a really good conversation and summary of what Based AF is and is currently at. So definitely recommend giving that a listen if you haven't. It's really insightful and quite entertaining to listen to. So that's the first thing. Next, I wanted to mention that community member Ray Sonic posted a video about a full body haptic feedback suit called the Tesla suit, which has nothing to do with Elon Musk's Tesla. It's an old video from about 4 years ago, but Robin then sort of jumped in to mention that the team are actually in discussions with these guys and they might be involved in a future tentpole video. So that certainly sounds interesting. If you're not sure what a haptic feedback suit is, it's like a full body suit that can trigger certain muscles and feelings within your body from electrical impulses. So you can imagine what fun stuff the guys will probably get up to with one of these. We saw in a recent video a bit of shock therapy going on with for Dan and Robin. So a full body suit that can do that to you sounds like it could be some pretty entertaining content to come out of that. So next up, there's a Trash Tinkerers forum which has been created for the community to share their secrets from hacking different bits of tech together. So for example, Robin and the team have been using GPT-4 to help write a custom wireless protocol for use with their in-world camera that they use in the virtual Unreal Engine environments. So this type of thing has been a huge focus for the team, as it's basically creating entirely new bits of tech to get the desired outcomes they're looking for with the motion capture studio and the virtual content production. So pretty interesting stuff, and it's good to see that the community is being involved with some of that process as well. It sounds like next week's video could well be behind the scenes on all that they've been trying to build and sort of cobble together to create their custom and bespoke metaverse camera, as they're now calling it. Unfortunately, due to COVID and the unfortunate train accident that happened recently in Amsterdam, guys have had some issues getting into the office over the last sort of 10 days or so, and that's delayed things a little bit also, which has been a bit hard for them all to deal with and get the content out that they've been trying to regularly get there. So the team has had to delay the relocation of the mocap studio, but it is now going to be going ahead over the next week or so. And it sounds like they're moving that volume downstairs. There's an office below them that they've managed to acquire by the sounds of things. And I think one of the issues they've had has been finding an appropriate space for the mocap volume that doesn't have vertical pylons in the way that you're going to run into. So that's been a bit of a challenge, and it sounds like they've finally been able to secure somewhere to do that. So that will be cool to get that set back up, and I think that should streamline their whole production process significantly. So the mocap studio itself has been a key focus for Robin to be pitching the powers of that studio to potential partners and investors as they look to raise another round of funding to help scale up production. So that's quite cool, and I've seen a few behind the scenes videos and it's pretty bloody impressive already, and they're making progress all the time on it, so quite encouraging. I think they've hit a few snags, but as is the case with any bleeding edge tech, especially when it's something that you're trying to assemble yourself that's never sort of existed before. So if they can nail this mocap studio, it is going to be a really unique selling point for the business itself. And Robin's described the mocap studio as its own little standalone business in a way. And they'll be able to basically provide it as a service for anyone needing to have a fast turnaround of live acting in a digital setting. And Robin used the Metastar from the Hume Collective, Angel Baby, the fluff, as a potential example of someone that might need something like that. So quite interesting. And as we move into a more digital world with all these digital avatars, I can see the demand for that type of thing only increasing. So that's been a huge focus, and I think it's it's a really big deal that Robin gets this up and running, and that's why it's been such a big focus, even at the expense of short-term content creation. So I think so much of the project is based around this motion capture studio. That's kind of the North Star, if you like, that Robin keeps referring to. Okay, so in regards to some of the content that has dropped recently, the team did drop a playful AI-focused game called WTF AI.
We made the most evil AI-themed game show ever conceived, full of passion, pride, and pain. I'm Artemis Impotente, and this is WTF AI Text-to-Video Edition,
which provides a fun and less scripted vertical for the guys to build upon. And it makes a lot of sense given how much public interest there is around artificial intelligence right now. So that was a really fun and playful video, and a little more casual, and kind of you get to see the personality of the team a bit more in a candid way. So that was quite cool and engaging. Check it out if you haven't watched it. I think we can expect to see a lot more of that over time. And as they build out more of this tech, I think as based heads, we might be able to get involved in a virtual game show environment further down the line, which will be a lot of fun to be involved with. Speaking of the based heads, Mr. Based 420 has been grinding away and started his own little Based AF focused YouTube channel, and is getting some really awesome early success. So he's taken the ball and run with the Mr. Best character in particular from the Effluence AI project that was one of the previous videos that the Base team did, where they created a fake AI product called Effluence. And he's creating these viral videos.
It's the $100,000 plane! This thing's huge!
That's what your mom said? Haha, Based?
Because it's a 16-hour flight, I get to take a
shit. He was going to say shit. He won't say it, but I will.
Keep your seatbelt on. You just focus on keeping me alive, Doug.
AIs do not have buttholes, though if I did, I would surely be shitting myself right now.
Before I continue, a quick word from our sponsors that make the show possible.
Introducing Fraz Cola, the world's premier beer-flavored beverage.
It's Fraz, delicious, highly nutritious with a top-secret recipe that's so delicious.
Nothing beats the buzz of a cool Fraz Cola. What are you waiting for?
We're getting Fraz to the NAS!
Consume at your own risk. Symptoms may include and death.
Using the 11 Labs and the DID AI software to create some really fun and unique stuff. So great stuff there. And now quite a few other community members are also following suit, creating their own little videos and memes using the various AI tools. So it's kind of fun to be exploring all this tech in a playful way and sort of just learning how it all works together as a community. I think that's something really special because, all of this stuff is kind of brand new, bleeding edge, quite scary. No one really knows what's going on. So it's sort of fun to go down that journey together and share it as a community and have a bit of fun along the way and make things a little bit lighthearted, where it's not necessarily doom and gloom and, the robots are going to take over and it's the end of humanity, as a lot of people are worried is going to happen. So just on that, the community quests are now back in full swing, which has resulted in a lot more activity recently in the Discord. So don't forget to submit your entries each day and start working your way up the leaderboard and earning points, because the rewards that you'll get at the end of this process are based on how much you contribute. It's not necessarily a leaderboard in terms of you need to be in first place to win. It's like, I'm not sure how deep it'll go in terms of the rewards, but basically, say the top 20 or top 50, I'm not sure what it'll be. You'll get, what you deserve based on how much you've contributed. So get busy with that, guys. It's all in the Discord, all the details in there. So check that out. what's up next? So the video version of Welcome to the Metaverse by Luke Franks, his podcast, which is now 100 episodes deep, and was recently acquired by Based AF and brought Luke into the team officially, has now launched the new format. So the last 2 episodes of that has dropped on the Based AF YouTube channel. And I really like the format. It's really good to see another new vertical that's going to result in more weekly content for Based AF. So well done to Luke in particular. And it also means it might not necessarily involve Robin Supermassive each week, which, you know, is good to unshackle him. We need to get more content that comes out of the team that's not funneled directly through Robin all the time. Otherwise, it's that single point of failure. And he's basically being the CEO of 3 companies right now, trying to incubate them. So there's an awful lot that's going on behind the scenes. And we don't want to see him burn out for the sake of a few extra videos. So it's important that, there's some patience and understanding that, it is still very early days for the project. And we're not going to quite get to the cadence of videos that everyone was hoping for. But once they scale up and get everything nailed down, you can expect to see a lot more content more regularly. The team, with all that in mind, decided not to go to NFT NYC this year, given they did just recently go to NFT Paris. So, popping call coming through. Turn that off. So they did just go recently to NFT Paris and did some content around that. And obviously that was a big effort on resources. So also with the fact that COVID seems to be springing back up again, there's been less want to get to NFT NYC. And to be honest, it's probably not the right time for the project in general to be out there sort of selling itself as an NFT project without getting itself up and running with all the content verticals and everything else they're trying to build. So in saying that, Antonio, the new hire, who's the head of partnerships, did go to NFT NYC, and he's likely there right now. And no doubt he's networking with people from the industry. So hopefully something comes out of that little trip, and I guess we'll find out over time. Okay, what's next? So Robin has released a Based AF vision document. So this is kind of like his little 3-month vision, and it sort of redefines the vision and values and what defines what Based AF is and what it's not. So Supermassive Robin, he's seeking community feedback on this. So give it a read. There's not too much to it. It's only maybe a few minutes of reading. It's linked in the Discord. I might see if I can get the mods to add it to maybe the announcements perhaps, so it's a bit easier to find and doesn't get lost. But definitely give it a read. It's quite interesting to see what he's got in there, and it's also, I think it's amazing that he's being that transparent and inclusive with the community, so we can all get our thoughts and feedback and dialogue going around that to help drive this project as a community. So that's sort of been done with the next round of investment in mind. So as part of this vision and little 3-month roadmap, it details a few things that we can expect, a few focus areas. So I'll just rattle a few of them off now. One is closing that next investment round. So that's sort of partly what Robin's been focusing on, sort of reevaluating the original slide deck and the original pitch for funding to where we are now, even just 3 months later. Things have changed quite a bit, so especially with the emergence of all this artificial intelligence. So I think it's probably just broadening the scope or broadening the definition, if you like, to not being just metaverse centric or metaverse focused, whatever that actually means to people, and just sort of defining other technologies that are also going to be a focus area for the team. There's also going to be the launch of Trash Talk on the main channel. Now, I'm not entirely sure what that's going to look like. I'm not sure if it's more like the Tech Tuesday style videos that Robin had on the Defiant, or if it's a bit more specific to Trashland. He did mention that he might be calling out some work that's done by the community each week. So this might be a bit more Trashland specific, but who knows? We'll see how that comes out. He also wants to establish a monthly community call, which I assume will either be in the Discord or on Twitter. And there's a big effort to align all of the content around the core IP of Trashland. So that will be interesting to see how that flavor comes through in some of the videos in particular. There's also, there's several other items on this list. So jump into the Discord and look up the link. You'll see that Supermassive posted it recently. and he's asking for feedback. So now's your chance to get in there and have a look. Okay, so basically just wrapping up the space now, really. It was just a quick update. So I just wanted to talk about the format of the space moving forward. It's all pretty fluid and it could change over time, but due to those daylight savings changes, I've been looking basically for a new time slot. We were starting to compete with the Fluff World space, which I didn't want to do, given we do have a lot of crossover in that community. And also it meant that the time was no longer feasible for Ali, our awesome mod who lives in Madrid in Europe. He wouldn't have been able to attend. It was already really late in the night for him. So I'm going to try and have alternating time slots from week to week. We'll see how we go with that. And it is going to, it might vary week to week based on other commitments and having some co-hosts available, that type of thing. So what I'm thinking at the moment is a US time slot and an EU time slot, and that'll better cater to a global audience and hopefully allow more based heads to join and jump in and contribute and have your say. So hopefully that works out. So I'm thinking probably 7 p.m. on Sunday nights in the US, so 7 p.m. Eastern time over there, so New York time, and 2 p.m. Central European summertime on Monday afternoons. So probably the 2 time slots I'm going to try and hit up first, so we'll see how that goes. So that's kind of it, guys. Just a quick flash update, just to get you back up to speed. I will put a video version of this out as well, so it's got some visibility on YouTube, and I hope to chat with you guys next week. So thanks very much. Cheers. Thanks very much for watching. If you enjoyed this content, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and maybe consider watching one of my other videos. Bunnies up.